seat on the end, doesn't matter which direction that you face. And then you slowly bring yourself all the way down onto your back. So that from the crown of the head to the tailbone is on that roller. And then slide your arms out away from you just enough to where your shoulder blades are kind of dropping into the roller. It might even feel a little bit like, ooh, that's a little uncomfortable as the edges of the shoulder blades kind of hit the foam roller. And then widen your feet enough that you don't feel like your hips are struggling, and the knees can steeple together if it's comfortable enough. So nice deep breath in through the nose, and nice deep breath out through the nose. So just do that 2 more times. Nice deep breath in through the nose, and nice deep breath out through the nose. Last time, nice deep breath in, and nice deep breath out. Slowly finish sliding your arms all the way overhead until they're alongside the ears, and then relax the shoulders as much as you can. Feel free to adjust the back if you feel like, oh, that makes things a little bit different. And then same thing again, nice deep breath in through the nose, and nice deep breath out. And just repeat that 2 more times. Really trying to bring volume to your rib cage, trying to open and awaken the underarms, stretch through the rib cage, the lungs, the tissue in between the two. And after that last breath, interlace the fingers overhead. Turn your palms out enough to stretch now. Let your back arc. So start pulling that lower lumbar away from the foam roller and press your palms away just enough. You're just waking up those hands, wrists, shoulders. And then exhale, readjust the footing a little bit more narrow and slowly bring the arms back down to your sides. You decide how they get there. Starting with some pelvic tilting, we're going to add the arms into the movement. And so inhale, lower back arcs, arms extend overhead. Really extend through the tailbone pointing into the roller and the arms reaching overhead. And then exhale, arms come back down to your sides, lower back into the roller, feet press into the floor. And then again, inhale, extend the arms overhead, reach, and then exhaling. So as you reach the arms overhead, just keep working with your own breathing. There's a little bit of a pause after the inhalation where you're still stretching. And then exhaling, returning back to center. So I want you to exaggerate that little bit of a pause to where the body's like, okay, I still want to stretch just a little bit longer. Okay, now taking it back. As you continue to reach the arms overhead, this next few times, think about reaching overhead and turning your palms down to the floor overhead to where your pinkies are on the inside and your thumbs are on the outside. So you're actually externally rotating the shoulders, but it feels like internal. So if you have any clunky shoulder issues or catching shoulder, that should alleviate some of that. All the while your lower back arcs and rounds. We go about 5 more. One more. And then exhale, arms down to your sides. Let the arms go a little bit wider than what they are right now, and your feet just a hair wider than what they are right now. Rolling side to side. Roll slightly off the roller to the right. Roll out the right side of the back, and then back to center, and then roll slightly off to the left. So instead of going up, down here, you're going right, left. It's a different type of kneading. Just do that a couple of times. Let yourself roll right across the glute across the shoulder blades, even across the back of the head. So even our skull bones can be off, just like your sacrum or your vertebrae or your shoulder blade. So nice deep breath in, just nice deep breath out. This is that moment right now in class where we remember all the little things and how the subtleties are often what the body needs most. And so just trying to tune into those. Tune into your breath, tune into the day, tune into how your body feels. Just go about 2 more times each direction. Awesome. And then back to center. Readjusting yourself, arms extend up overhead, palms face in, narrow up your footing. So feet are more of like a true hips distance now, so definitely not as wide as your mat. All right, feeling all 4 corners of your feet plugged into the floor, bring your fingertips straight up to the sky this time. Gently plug your shoulders back just a little bit, not to where it's uncomfortable. And pressing into your feet, exhale, lift your hips a few inches up off the roller. So now we're in this elevated bridge. It doesn't feel very high because the roller is already taking us off the ground. But keeping your bridge, tailbone pointing to the knees rather than to the foam roller. Protraction, retraction 10 times. Inhale, sink your shoulder blades down around the roller. And then exhale, reach and round your upper back. So try to keep the elbows from bending. Inhale, sink. And exhale, reach. All 4 corners of the feet press into the floor, especially that big toe, and reach. Inhale, sink. It might feel like the arms don't go very far. It might feel a little clunky. Inhale when you sink, and exhale when you reach. 4 more. Last one. And then slowly set the hips down, slowly set your arms down. Extend your right leg out on the floor. Just turn the toes up towards the sky. You can widen it if you feel a little off. And then bring the opposite knee in towards the chest. So you're going to use opposite arm, opposite leg that's in. So if your right knee is in, take your left arm and just gently draw that knee in a little bit. Just for balance sake here, it's going to be easier if you have opposite limbs on the floor. Keep reaching out, down, and away through the lengthening leg as you bring that bent knee in. It's a little balance challenge here for sure. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Slide that leg out. Drop both arms to the floor. So your arm that's going to stay on the mat can be as wide as you need it to be. Bring the opposite knee in. Now you can just let that knee come into the chest and just stay there. Totally okay. Otherwise, steady. Opposite hand to opposite knee. Bring the knee in a little bit. Keep reaching out, down, and through the bottom leg seal. Nice deep breath in. And nice deep breath out. And then slowly set that leg down. Bend the knees, feet to the mat, roll off to the side, take the roller out from under you, and then spin it so that it's turning now perpendicular with the body, and slide it under the sacrum. So roller goes under the sacrum now, or under your hips. You can kind of bring yourself to the center of the roller or slightly off to the side of your waist spine. All right, one leg at a time up the tabletop. Hold the edges of your roller, or hold the top of the roller so it doesn't roll away from you. Flex the feet, glue the legs together, knees over hip versus knee over abdomen. And let's rock side to side here, working the core, releasing the back, and working the sacrum. So inhale, legs drop one direction. My opposite shoulder is going to stay on the floor. So I'm only going to go as far as my legs stay together and my shoulder stays down. Exhale, contract at the waistline, bring it back to center. Roll right across the shoulders, the hips, and bring yourself to the opposite side. So the stretch is, how far can I go keeping my legs together and my opposite shoulder down? The strengthen is, now I have to use my obliques to both maintain the stretch as I come across and then pull me back to center. So now we can emphasize that strength load by by really thinking about it and trying to engage pelvic floor, so anal sphincter, perineum, urethra, and thinking about hugging that waistline as we come back to center. Inhaling when you twist, just stay with your breathing, and exhale. Now, if you're someone that has a tighter side, so it's like, oh, I can go pretty far to the right, or my spine doesn't really pull until the last minute to the left, just pay attention to those things. One more each way. And then once you come back to center, left leg extends out, right knee pulls in, back into that hip flexor stretch. Keeping the straight leg heel down to the ground the best that you can. Try to keep that length through the straight leg. Slowly start to draw the bent knee in until you feel that stretch. Relax your shoulders back. Long, deep breathing. Now stay there, but clasp the hands behind the hamstring of the upper leg and extend that leg to the sky. Now come into the hamstring. Flex through both feet. There's the calf. Nice deep breath in and nice deep breath out. Slowly lower that leg all the way to the ground. Full body stretch. Arms reach overhead, point your toes. Reach your fingertips. Inhale, lift your lungs. And then exhale, opposite knee comes in. So anchor through the opposite heel now. Bring the left knee in. Hold on the shin or the hamstring you decide. And just slowly start to bring that leg in until you get to that place where it's like, okay, that's a good stretch. Inhale through the nose, drop your shoulders. Exhale through the nose. Even think about the straight leg right now and slide it a little bit closer to the center line. Just like an inch or so. So if the hip is tight, the leg will swing out. So nice deep breath in and nice deep out breath out. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your mind. How is your mind reacting or responding to even the simplest of poses? Part of yoga is self-observation. Paying attention. Now clasp behind the hamstring, extend the leg up, hamstring stretch. Breathe, reach through the heel. And then lower that leg all the way down, full body stretch. Inhale, point the toes. Let the back arc. And then slowly drop the arms down. Rebend the knees. Lift the hips for a moment and just readjust the foam roller if it's kind of off. One more thing here. Knees come into the chest first. Just let the knees fall into the chest. Give yourself kind of an air hug. And then from that knee into the chest, bring your legs up to a tabletop. Knees are over hips. Engage the pelvic floor. Engage those lower belly muscles. Let's work with a simple heel tap. So inhale, lowering one heel down. And then exhale, bringing it back up nice and slow. And then the opposite side. Inhale, lowering down. And exhale, bringing up nice and slow. So I can open the angle of my knee and I can do maybe more of a 45-degree angle in the knee versus a 90. I can bring my leg all the way up if it will almost go straight. I know the hamstrings are probably still a little tight. And lift and lower. No matter what you choose, I want you to try to stay nice and stable in the pelvis and really think about the floor. So if I have to go all the way straight now I'm struggling, just back off and rebend the knee. So inhale when you lower, those core muscles are going to kick in. Exhale when you lift. Soft jaw, tongue off the roof of the mouth. If you're feeling any type of hip grabbing, the leg that's grabbing, literally look at your knee and internally rotate that leg. So just by that internal rotation, you're going to give a little bit more slack to the hip and you hopefully can reduce some of that grab. belly muscles, which when you drop that leg down, you should feel those muscles automatically kick in. Inhale when you lower, breathe into your lungs. Exhale when you lift. We're gonna go 4 more, so 2 more on each side. Last set. Last one. And then both feet drop down to the floor. Lift your hips, slide the foam roller out from under you and just kind of off to the side. Drop your hips to the floor. Full body stretch, arms reach overhead. Inhale, lengthen fingertips to toes or palms to toes. And then once you give yourself a good stretch, roll over onto your belly.